Welcome back to Rush and Beyond, where we see the world through artists' eyes and learn to express our own worlds. Dancing Little Figures by Paul Klee. Have you ever seen a painting where little shapes seem to dance and play across the page? That's the magic of Paul Klee, an artist who mixed music, imagination, and art to create playful worlds full of movement and rhythm. Today, we'll explore how he turns simple lines and shapes into joyful, dancing little figures and make them our own. Paul Klee was born in Bern, Switzerland. Switzerland is a small country in Europe, known for mountains, chocolate, and watches. Can you find Switzerland on the map? You can pause the video and try to find Switzerland. Paul Klee is an artist, a musician, and also a teacher. He brought the rhythm of music and his teaching experience into his paintings. Paul Klee grew up in a very special family. His mom was Swiss and his dad was German, and both of them were musicians. That means that Paul's home was always full of music and creativity. Even as a little boy, Paul showed amazing talent. He loved to draw, play the violin, write stories, and poems. He was curious about everything and loved to make art in his own way. If you could choose, would you rather draw, play music, or draw a story today, and why? When Paul grew older, he went to Germany and Italy to study painting. In 1911, he met other famous artists like August Macke and Wassily Kandinsky. Together, with Franz Marc, they formed a group called the Blue Rider. Kandinsky, who was also one of the first abstract painters, really inspired Paul. He began to think about how colors and shapes could express feelings, just like music does. Have you ever used colors or shapes to show a feeling? What colors or shapes would you use to show happiness? In 1914, Paul traveled to Tunisia in North Africa. The bright sunlight and colorful landscapes there amazed him. He started painting watercolors of the scenery, but instead of painting every little detail, he simplified shapes, almost like a child would. This trip was a turning point in his art. From then on, he loved to make paintings that were playful, colorful, and full of imagination. If you were in Tunisia, what colors would you see in the sky, the buildings, and the ground? Could you try painting them with just a few simple shapes? In 1920, Paul Klee was invited to teach at the Bauhaus School of Design in Germany. While teaching, Klee didn't just show students how to paint. He also asked big questions like, why do we make art? And what is the purpose of art? In 1925, he wrote down his ideas and experiences in a book called Teaching Notes, which is still read by art teachers today. In 1930, the Nazis took control of Germany. They didn't like Paul Klee's art because it was abstract and different. So Klee had to leave Germany and move to other countries like Italy and France to stay safe. By the end of 1933, he returned to Switzerland, his home country, which was neutral during the war. There he could focus fully on painting again. Back in Switzerland, Klee's art became even more imaginative and bold. He used simple lines, geometric shapes, and abstract symbols to share his ideas. His art was like a secret language that told stories without using words. Sadly, in 1940, Paul Klee passed away at the age of 60 because of heart problems. He left behind hundreds of amazing paintings that still inspire people all over the world. His playful, colorful, and musical approach to art reminds us that simple shapes and colors can hold big ideas. Have you ever heard of the word Bauhaus? Almost everyone who studies design knows it, but why is the Bauhaus so famous? Well, the Bauhaus School of Design was the very first school in the world that was created to teach modern design. It was also the first school that said art and technology should work together. The Bauhaus helped bring art down from dreamy ideas into real life, and it changed how people designed everyday things. Thanks to the Bauhaus, people can enjoy products that are both useful and beautiful. At the Bauhaus, the great artist Paul Klee taught paintings for about 10 years, but then something sad happened. The school was closed by Hitler, the cruel dictator during World War II. Not only did Hitler shut the school, but he also forced Klee to leave Germany and even used Klee's art as a bad example. So, Klee had no choice but to go back to his home country, Switzerland. But in Switzerland, he finally had more time just to paint. He worked hard and created many wonderful abstract paintings. Even though Hitler didn't understand his art, history gave Klee the honor he deserved. Today, Klee is remembered all over the world as one of the greatest abstract artists in the 20th century. Today, we're going to be looking at one of Paul Klee's most famous abstract paintings. It's called Dancing with Fear. Let's take a look at this painting. What do you see in this picture? Can you find the shapes? Maybe semicircles, circles, rectangles, triangles, squares? What colors do you notice? How do these colors make you feel? Do the gray areas feel calm, sad, or like someone is running away? Who are those little people and creatures in the painting? What are they doing? What do you think the small black dots in the background are? This painting is called Dancing with Fear. Where do you think they are dancing? Why might dancing be scary here? How does this abstract artwork make you feel? Klee painted this in 1938. At that time, Hitler and Nazis were planning wars, and World War II was just about to start. Klee's art was banned in Germany because it was too free and imaginative. He had to leave Germany, but he still wanted to share how he felt. He felt that the Nazi government was dancing with the devil, so he painted this work. Paul Klee taught us that art doesn't have to be real. Doesn't have to look real. Simple shapes, lines, and colors can tell big stories. The dancing little figures of Paul Klee usually referred to the small, playful characters he often drew. Klee loved using just a few lines and simple shapes to create figures that look like they're dancing. These little people sometimes have triangle bodies, round heads, and stick-like arms and legs. In his paintings, these dancing little figures often seem to be performing, singing, or playing around. Though these simple childlike and rhythmic shapes, Klee brought the feeling of music and dance into his art. Thank you so much for watching another Brush and Beyond art history video. Stay tuned for our next art history videos and an art activity inspired by this artist.